Hey friends! My name is Desiree, aka Mama Friendly, and I do all sorts of videos on my channel. Cooking videos, vlogs, hauls, Disney content, a little bit of everything. So if any of that sounds like fun to you, I hope that you will subscribe and join me on my YouTube adventure. I don't know about you, but for me, soup season is year-round. Possibly because I'm in South Florida and it feels like summertime is year-round, and so if we had to wait until it was seasonably appropriate to do X, Y, or Z, nothing would ever get done. Also, I just really like soup. Something that never changes though is how busy we are, right? So it might change as far as what is making us busy or how busy we are, but there's just always something going on around here. So today's recipe is gluten and dairy free, of course, but it is for a soup that I've just recently discovered that is called Busy Day Soup. It is super simple, and the great thing about this soup is that while it does take about an hour and a half start to finish, it's like 5 minutes of hands-on time. So you can start your soup, go off and do other things around the house, and then come back and find that your meal is ready. There's also hardly any ingredients, so I am excited to try this for the first time. I think it's going to be great. I mean, I feel like with the ingredients we're using, you really can't go wrong. The seasoning aspect is a little on the low end for me, so I'm going to be doctoring it up as I see fit. Feel free to make your own adjustments as well, but let me show you what I'm working with as the base. We're going to need 1 pound of ground beef. Mine is like semi-thawed. It started out frozen. I took it out of the freezer last night and put it in the fridge, but it's not quite all the way thawed. Either way, whatever you're using, the direction is going to be the same, which is brown it and then drain the fat. So whatever it takes for you to get there, we'll do that. 1 pound of ground beef. 1 package of onion soup mix. Now, if you're not concerned with gluten-free and dairy-free, you can just use like Lipton or whatever's easy to find at your grocery store. I'm using this Simply Organic brand because it is in fact gluten and dairy-free. You can see the ingredients right there. So I'm going to have this linked in the description box below. In case you have a harder time finding it, you can get it on Amazon. I have no trouble finding this usually at Sprouts or like at Whole Foods. 1 3/4 cup of mixed frozen vegetables. So I just have this, I feel like pretty basic blend of carrots, corn, green beans, and peas. So we're going to measure out 1 3/4 cup of that. 1 28-ounce can of diced tomatoes. My store did not have a 28-ounce can, so I have 2 14.5-ounce cans. That's going to give me 29 ounces instead of 28, but it's fine. It's not the end of the world. 1 cup of macaroni. I'm using Banza brand because it's gluten-free, and I find that it has the best flavor and the best texture of any of the gluten-free noodles I've tried. I did not want macaroni though. I like the cavatappi, the little corkscrews. These are my favorite shape. So I'm going to use half the box, which is 4 ounces by weight. And lastly, we're going to need 5 cups of water. And then of course, whatever seasonings you might like to add. I'm for sure going to put salt and pepper in this. And when it's all done, I'll see how I feel about it. I might add garlic. I might add Italian seasoning. You can do whatever you feel is right here. I've also never had this onion soup mix in any recipes before, so I'm not sure exactly what it's going to bring to the party. So I want to make sure to taste everything all together before I determine how I'm moving forward. And speaking of being busy, right? Kiddo's running around with his iPad. There's all sorts of background noise going on because this is a real life house with a real life family in it. So let's do our best to focus on this, shall we? So I've got my little soup pot here. Hopefully it's big enough to hold everything. I will let you guys know. I'll also have the soup pot linked down below, because why not? Maybe you're in the market for one. I actually just got this one recently because I didn't have a soup pot. So in case you are like me and find that your kitchen tends to be lacking in basic stuff, maybe you're interested in this one. So I'll link it down below. So I'm just going to start with putting my ground beef right in here. And again, whether you're starting from thawed, frozen, semi-frozen like I am, the directive is the same, which is brown it and then drain the grease. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to brown it, I'm going to break it up, I'm going to let it get cooked through, we'll drain the grease, and then we will reconvene, my friends. Alright friends, I am pleased to report that the beef is now ready to go. It's barely released any fat, but I did drain what was in there all the same. So now I'm going to put in my onion soup mix. So I'm just going to sprinkle whatever's in this envelope. Let me give it a smell. Yeah, it smells very much like any typical onion soup mix. I don't know what I was expecting, but it smells good. We got that in there. I really feel like I should season the meat now. I'm very big on seasoning every layer of a recipe to make sure that it's well flavored throughout. So I think I'm going to hold off on the salt just in case, but I am going to throw some pepper in here before we move on. Next, we're going to put in our tomatoes with the juice. So whether you're using two 14.5-ounce cans or one 28-ounce can, you're going to pour it all in here, juice and all. And last, for now, we're going to put in our 5 cups of water. So here goes 1. And here goes the other 4. Perfect. I think that this pot is going to give us just enough room to cook everything down. So I'm going to give this a stir to get everything incorporated. And now I'm going to turn my heat down to medium-low. I've been cooking on medium so far. So medium-low, just about there. And I'm going to let this simmer for 1 hour. So that means I have an entire hour to handle all the other things I've got to do around here right now. And in an hour, I will come back and add in the last little bits of our ingredients. Alright pals, it's now been an hour of simmering, and here I have my 4 ounces by weight of noodles. So half the box, 1 cup, whatever works for you. I'm going to stir that in, and I'm also going to take my 1 3/4 cups of mixed vegetables, and I'm going to put them in here as well, and I'm just going to give them a little mix. And this is going to continue simmering for another 15 minutes. At that point, our soup should be ready to serve hot, and we will have an easy weeknight meal ready to go with very, very little effort. There we are. Give that a stir. And we're going to let this ride for 15 minutes. I think I'm actually going to do 10, honestly. Use your intuition, go with your gut, but my pasta typically requires a 6 to 7 minute cook time, and so I feel like 15 minutes, mind you, it's simmering, it's not at a full boil, but I feel like 15 minutes is just going to turn my gluten-free pasta to mush. So I'm going to give it 10 minutes, and then we'll give it a little bit of a taste test and see how we feel about it then. There she is. Our soup is ready. It's looking hearty and delicious, and I'm very excited to try this. Now this is going to be blazing hot, but I'm going to do a little bit of a taste test. Don't be that guy that drinks or eats from your cooking spoon or serving spoon and then puts it back into the pot. That's so gross. You're the reason why I don't eat at people's houses. Alright, here's a very, very big spoonful with a little bit of everything. I'm going to burn the heck out of my tongue, but I want to make sure to check it for seasoning before I start serving it up. Okay, it does have some nice flavor to it, but for me, it could use some salt. So I'm going to add my favorite garlic salt. I use this stuff on literally everything. My husband teases me about it because every single thing I cook, every single thing I make, unless it's a dessert, it's probably getting some of that garlic salt. But I think that that's pretty much all it needs. The onion soup was perfect in here, and I am very much looking forward to having a nice big bowl of this. Alright friends, there you have it. A super easy, mostly hands-off pot of soup that will very easily serve 4, might even serve 6 if you're talking about little ones as well. It's very tasty. It looks like it's going to be super filling, and this is probably going to end up making it into my weekly rotation. You could also probably do ground turkey with this instead of ground beef or even ground chicken just to kind of vary it up. You could change the mixed vegetables that you use. So you can take this same base recipe and kind of mix it up so that you don't get bored of eating the same thing over and over. Even different pasta shapes might make it appealing to kiddos so that it's not always the same soup. But great recipe, very easy, very cheap. All good things. So if you decide to try it, I hope you'll come back and let me know how you like it. And as always, I want to thank you all so much for being here and watching this video. I really hope you enjoyed it, and if you did, I hope you'll please give it a big thumbs up. I'd also love it if you would subscribe and click the notification bell because I post at least 3 times a week, and I wouldn't want you to miss a minute. Thanks so much again for watching. Bye!